Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Let's Look At with Zebu Nation. And today we're going to take a look at a new indie game called Pathway. This is a game, it was developed by ROBOTALITY and it is published by CHUCKLEFISH. Probably know CHUCKLEFISH from their immense hit Stardew Valley, and you can probably notice some similarities, at least in the artwork for this. It's sort of got that 8-bit feeling. ROBOTALITY has also published a game of their own. They've published a game called Halfway. It's kind of a turn-based tactics game where you go through a starship with sort of a space marine kind of guy. And this has a bit of that turn-based tactics in it. It has some shooting. It's got some interesting stuff going on here. Let's start the game. I'm going to create a new profile here. We'll just call it New Profile. Start a new adventure. And here we go. So we have a codex. We can look in and see what's going on. So it is an adventure game. It's a game set in the, I want to say Indiana Jones type time frame. You know, 1920-ish, somewhere around there. There are Nazis. You know, it takes a lot of influence from Indiana Jones. You're adventurers, you're explorers, treasure hunters. So you're combing through the deserts of Africa, looking for various buried treasures and things like that, and you keep running into Nazis. All kind of Nazis, and you've got to take them out with your squad-based tactics. So the first mission is sort of a trial mission, but there are many, many missions, and they get longer and more difficult as you go on. So, you know, I don't really want to show you any of those later missions because they are so long. They just get exceedingly long. So we're going to start with this shorter adventure and maybe give you a sense of what this game is about. So at the beginning, you have 6 characters, and they are unlockable. There are some sort of roguelike features to this game where you go through a mission and you unlock characters, and then you can use them again on the next adventure, and you can level them up and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, we just have to choose a couple of characters here. We'll choose Jackson Sheffield, an American globetrotter. He's an assault rifle expert, good aim and endurance, bad reflexes though, with limited upgrade options. We'll see what that's all about. Then I think the other guy I kind of like here is the captain, Captain Piranha Pereira, Brazilian steamboat smuggler. He's a shotgun expert, very resilient, and also has few upgrade options. So we'll take him as our second character. Now, through the course of the adventure, you could get more characters, and as you start with higher difficulty missions, you can bring more characters. But for now, you can only have 2. And they each have different abilities. Like, this is Natalia Shushkova, Russian scientist. She's a healer. She's got many different kinds of upgrade paths, but she's rather fragile. Here's a guy with low mobility, but he's a capable sniper. Flexible weapons specialist, fears the undead, and has low stats. Yeah, he does have kind of low stats. High intelligence, though. And then final guy here is a robust grenade expert. Strong versus Nazis, but he has low mobility and, again, limited upgrades. And they each come with their own different sets of armors and weapons and all that kind of stuff. So we can start our mission. You have a Jeep, and your Jeep can store items. You've got limited amount of certain resources, though. Fuel and ammo. You have to find these things or buy them at the shop because you will run out of them over the course of your mission. You also have different weapons, and you can upgrade those weapons. You can find new stuff and store it in your Jeep and save it for later, or you can just send it to your bag of valuables and just turn it into cash. So it's a lot of different mechanics going on. Well, let's start with our first mission, A Friend in Need. So we have a friend out there, and we got to find him. In Morocco, apparently. Let's see. Use walls and large objects to your advantage as they break line of sight. Yeah, so there's definitely all that turn-based tactics type stuff going on here.
Take a break in a provincial backwater a few miles beyond Casablanca. This is the last outpost of beyond this point is nothing but merciless desert. Morton is out there, somewhere.
Okay, so a little bit of voice acting. There's not a ton of voice acting in this game, but, the start of each mission, they give you some voice acting, so that's nice. And now here's the map. It's got a lot of different places that you need to go. So you can check your gear one last time to decide if you want to do anything, but we don't really have any gear. We can check it right here in this little bag. You can see we have a Venner automatic rifle and a tarnished stiletto. So you can get, a Venner automatic rifle, but you can get a better version or a worse version. Same with the stiletto. You can get a tarnished version or a, excellent version, stuff like that. And then we have our worn leather jacket. It gives us 20 armor, so that's pretty good. But your weapons and items also degrade, especially your armor, and you'll need special skills and special repair kits in order to repair them and get your armor back up to full, or you can just find new armor and swap it out if you don't have the time or the skills necessary. So here are my basic skills here: assault rifle, knife, and medium armor skill. So this guy can only wear medium armor. He also has the Daredevil perk. And when an event happens, he can do different weird stuff. Like one time I came upon sort of a Nazi convoy driving down the road, and this guy decided to jump from our Jeep onto the convoy and try to hijack the convoy. It didn't work, but he tried it because he's a daredevil. And if I hadn't had him in my party, nobody else would have tried such a crazy thing. So our other guy here is Pereira. He's got a shotgun, tarnished Morley Burke break action shotgun, and then he has a tarnished pocket knife. And you can see the damage and crit chance and all that kind of stuff you'd expect from a turn-based tactics type game. And here he's got the repair kit skill. So he's the guy you want repairing your armor if we find any repair kits. So there we go. Let's get rid of that. Let's start on the mission. And you start on the mission by just sort of clicking on these various locations. And they'll give you a little story and, maybe an event. Something you'll have to decide or somebody you'll have to fight or something like that. And then the other thing you kind of have to do is you have to plan your way through the map. Because we only have 10 fuel. And each of these locations cost a fuel point to go. So, we'll probably want to go somewhere where we'll be able to find or buy some fuel. So if we just go, this way, we've got, as you can see here, a little pouch of gold here. That's a shop of some sort. So the crosshairs, that's, an encounter, a battle that you'll have to go through. Now we could go around that, but then we wouldn't have the opportunity to go to the shop. And it's going to take us more than 10 to get here to our unvisited location. So if we don't get any gasoline by here, we'll probably have to go to the shop. So let's start with our first location here and try to zip through it. So here we go. The porous masonry disappears into the rock face. It looks like an entrance to an old abandoned sewage system. A noxious, unhealthy smell rises to your nostrils. You're not sure what to do. Do you really want to explore this dank, dilapidated labyrinth? So, you can explore the cisterns. That'll gamble. The choice may yield positive or negative outcomes, or you could just continue the journey. I mean, as long as we're here, as long as I'm showing you stuff, we'll take a gamble. Let's see what happens. As you move deeper into the tunnels, the ground becomes increasingly unstable. What began as a foul-smelling puddle soon becomes viscous body of sludge that fills the passages ahead of you. This does not sound good. A short time later, you are wading up to your hips in the oily, foul-smelling liquid. Strangely luminous flowers cling to the brick walls above you and bathe the corridor in their eerie light. So, I don't like the sound of this. We can continue on and press our luck. We don't have anybody who's particularly lucky or unlucky. So I don't know how much or how little that affects it. But, let's keep going just for fun. You continue to wade through the nauseating sludge. The ground soon starts to slope upwards again, and you reach firm ground, ending in a circular room. On the wall, you find a series of rusty metal protrusions that lead upward in a spiral. Seems like the remnants of a staircase or something like that. Here we go. After some strenuous climbing, you reach a small chamber. Next to the hole from which you emerge, you discover a rusty crate. Its lock broken. Uh-oh. So somebody's been here before. Oh, there we go. We found some loot. So this is their loot mechanic. Anytime you finish an encounter successfully, you get a chance to get some loot. And they have sort of a loot box mechanic here. I think this is done sort of, sort of ironically to say, oh, look, loot box mechanic. But also, it's kind of effective because you're like, ooh, what is it? What's in it? I want to click on this. There we go. We got some petroleum. Can be used as car fuel, apparently. So there we go. We got a little extra fuel. And then a battered stone tablet has a value of $95, but no real purpose to it. So it just goes directly into our bag of valuables here. So we have a valuable artifact, $95 and some gasoline. That seemed worth it. So there we go. You can see that sort of, it reminds me of Curious Expedition, where the Curious Expedition, you go to certain places and you get these certain events and it tells a story as you go along. So here we go. Let's move to the next spot. So there we go. We got an achievement for that, 100 XP. Outstanding. So, you can do that. You can dig into these little side missions if you want to. But if you don't want to, you can just sort of skip them and continue your journey. An old altar appears over the next dune. All the dried blood is making you feel uneasy, and so you move on. And there are some encounters that are just like that. It's just like you go there, there's nothing really, so move on. Now we have our first encounter. Let's get to the shooting. What some people might consider the gameplay, but I consider it all gameplay. I like the overworld map type of thing. It sort of, gives the game a little extra depth. Anyway, a ghostly silence blankets the abandoned military camp. Its barricades are unmanned. The tarpaulins rustle in the wind. What happened to the soldiers who were camped here? You do not have to wait long for an answer. All of a sudden, the camp springs to life with mocking grins. The Nazi soldiers emerge from behind barrels and tents. It's a trap. It's a trap. So here we go. Every member of your party can perform 2 actions, etc., etc. You should know from a turn-based tactics game. So enemies here are in red. They show you where they're at. They've got dogs. Now, warning. If you don't like dog violence, there is some dog violence here. You have to shoot and kill dogs. However, in the menu, there is an option for dog lovers. And they will, if you click that option, they will switch out the dogs for some other kind of enemy that is not a dog. So, fear not, dog friends and dog friends of dogs. Anyway, so when you deploy your squad, you can only deploy inside these green markers here. And as you can see, you've got sort of the cover mechanic. So you got full cover and half cover and such and such and such. But we're going to deploy our guys. Let's see. I guess we'll deploy them here and here. So far, as I found, you as the player are always granted first turn. So you can deploy a little tactically knowing that situation. So let's see. This guy's got 40 health. And our weapons do 25 to 34 or 19 to 30. So it's probably going to take 2 shots to kill this guy no matter what we do. Unless the captain can do more damage, perhaps with a shotgun. 36 damage with his shotgun. 35 with his pocket knife. Okay, so let us shoot this guy. So 27 damage. So he shot, but now he could still move if he wanted to. So if I wanted to make sure I'm out of the line of sight of that guy, I could now run the captain over here. And he's behind cover. He's fine and dandy. As for Jackson, I think I'm just going to not waste ammo. I'm just going to move next to this guy and stab him. 29, first blood, 20 XP. So there we go. That's all we can do on our move right now is attack, move, attack, move. So we've done it, and now it's their turn. So the dog's got a big movement, so he's going to come down here. Can't quite get to me. No, yes he can. All right. 18 damage from the dog, and this guy misses. Okie doke. Let's see. Move up here into high cover. How much? Okay, so the dog can get killed in one shot. Move the captain over here. How much does his knife do? His knife does 27. Oh, so there we go. We've killed a dog. We're terrible people, but it was a it was a Nazi dog, so I guess that's okay. It's interesting that in some of the texts they call them German soldiers. Usually in this sort of game, they go out of their way to call them all Nazis because that's just how it goes in this sort of Indiana Jones style adventure. All right, so we got one soldier left. Just come over here, take him out with the old knife. See you later. So again, we have resources. We got to save that ammunition. We can't just be running around gunning everybody down because we've got a limited amount of bullets. So here we go. At the end of our little adventure here, damage dealt, shot accuracy, crits, and then this is critical. Make sure you reload all your weapons so that when you start the next mission, your weapons will be reloaded. Now, sometimes you might not want to do that if you're low on ammo or something like that, and you might want to reload them a little bit more strategically. But right now we got plenty of ammo. We're just conserving it to be, generally conservative. So here we go. All right. We've got our loot here. Let's reveal all items. So what do we get? We get another handkerchief and a small box of ammo. So right now we've got 38 ammo. That's for your whole party. Your whole party has to share ammunition. So there we go. We got 10 ammo out of that. That's pretty good. So we shot once, and we got 10 bullets back. So net positive. Now, fuel. We got 6 fuel left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need at least 8 to get to our destination. So, and then we're going to add another one from here, so it's 2 probably. Anyway, the village ahead of you is inhabited. You hear the bleating of goats and children's laughter as you approach. The village merchant beckons you over to his stall. Let us trade. So he does have gasoline. He's got painkillers. He's got a pistol, Hastings service pistol. He also has some grenades. I think right now we'll trade in our valuables. So there we go, left click, traded in all the valuables. So we now have $1,100. We can buy, let's see, 1, 2. Let's buy 4 to be safe. 8. I think we only need 9 to get there. Let's buy 10 just for fun. It's only $125. Anything else we want to buy? Let's buy some heals just in case. This stuff, as far as I recall, it does cross over to your next adventure. So you can stack up on some of this stuff if you want to. Let's buy another grenade just so we have a spare. And then we could buy his last 2 painkillers because we don't really have any other way of healing ourselves other than these painkillers. So there we go. Anyway, now let's take a look here. So we got 2 medium armors. See, this one is jacked, but we don't have any repair kits, so we'll swap it out. And then likewise the captain. He's got 4 armor left. This one is full, so we'll swap that out. Let's do some healing. Jackson needs some healing. So we'll do that. He's all healed up. I don't think anything else is going on, but we do have some level ups to take care of. So as I said earlier, you can get some new skills and in leveling up your characters. So level 1 to level 2, we can get accuracy for our assault rifle, aim, magazine size, accuracy, or crit chance. I think accuracy is always good to go for, so we'll do that. Confirm our skill choice. So it's a pretty simple level up system, but you know, it can make your characters a little bit more capable in the field, so you can start handling some harder and harder missions. So again, knife, crit chance, or damage. I think we'll go damage for the captain. He's been knifing a lot of fools recently. You can look at our skill tree and it'll show you, you know, where your skills are at. Fine and dandy. All right. I think we're good there. So we'll try to just, you know, skip to the end here and get to the final mission as quick as possible. An excavation site. Continue your journey. Sorry about that. We're trying to skip to the end. A single sheep passes by your Jeep. After a quick stop, you drive off. It's almost like a poem. Let's keep on trucking here. The weathered shrine among the rocks looks like it's been here since the beginning of time. Ah, we got a little item. More petroleum. Really didn't need that gas. Beep, 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 beep. As soon as you notice the Nazi flag, you stop immediately, look around for danger. Soon you realize it's just an abandoned flag and leave. Okay. Dang old Nazis just planting their flag everywhere. The desert wind moans softly through the sun-beached tombstones of this long abandoned place. Okay. Okay, so here we are. We're at the final destination here, the unvisited location with the flag and the big X. That means, you know, X marks the spot. So here we go. 10 fuel to spare. You see the fortified base of the excavation regiment southwest on the valley plain ahead. You have finally reached your goal. As you're considering how to make it through the heavily guarded entrance, you suddenly spot a lone Wehrmacht Jeep approaching your vehicle. You hide behind the rocks and wait for the patrol to disembark. Then you take them by surprise and tie them up. A short time later, you drive into the German camp wearing borrowed uniforms. The bored-looking sentry waves your Wehrmacht Jeep through with barely a glance. So far, so good. Disguised as German soldiers, you search the camp complex. Morton must be here somewhere. Your hearts race as you pass unnoticed through the crowds of enemy soldiers. You suddenly notice a small motorcade setting off. As it drives past, you spot Morton in one of the cars. You immediately jump into your captured Jeep and tag onto the end of the convoy as it exits the camp and heads into the desert. Following the motorcade. Uh-oh, this looks bad. The old firing squad. After a few miles, the convoy stops at a smaller auxiliary base. You see Morton being led away. You don't have much time. Your friend's execution is imminent. Suddenly you hear a shout. You've been discovered. You look at each other with grim determination and load your weapons. This is it. Hopefully our weapons would have been loaded before that, but you know, you get the idea. Don't forget to take your loot. Since we left our loot behind last time, that's good advice. So here we are. We got a little sort of sanctuary here, a little fort. But there's a guard pretty close. Dog. It's got to be more than 2, right? Huh. Got to assume somebody's going to come out of the woodworks. Maybe they'll come out of these buildings. I don't know. Normally they show you everybody on the map. I don't see him. All right. So we'll put Jackson here. Captain there. Got the knife skills, right? So let's bring him up here. And let's do the business. 32. No, I should have used the bleed skill. So I guess we'll just finish him off quietly. See how far the dog can get. The dog is probably within range. Okay, so they're closing in on us. The smart thing to do would be to kind of back away. I think I see another one. Yeah, there is one down there. Is he within range? Not even close. Now for the captain. I should have shot and then moved, which is what I shall do now. Shoot and move. Gotta remember you can do that. You don't have to do one or the other. Alright, let's go. Yo, look out, another dog. Another dog. Here comes the second one. I hope he's out of reach. He is. Gotta take care of them first. I'd also probably like to take care of that shock trooper. Oh, he got the flank on me. So he's gotta go. Oh. Well, that's a new unit. That's a medical unit, so he can heal people, and we don't want that. But first, we got to take care of this guy. So just come down here, get the stab. It's another one of those, like, do you want to expose yourself for a better chance to get a kill? I don't know about that right now. We do have full armor, so maybe that would have been a good idea. 100% chance against the dog. We'll take that. See you later. Okay. So we're starting to get a little bit surrounded here. Don't like that. The dog's going to take his chomp. Only 12. This guy. Oh, he's got a flank on the captain. I wasn't even thinking about that. He doesn't shoot at the captain, though. So he's going to come down. He's got a pistol. I forgot he had a pistol. I kind of thought he was unarmed. Oh boy, I am close to dead. I didn't give anybody any heals, which is no good. I'm going to have to take the chance of killing this guy. This is where the bleed is going to come in to effect. I'm going to use the bleed. It'll take 2 of my bravery, but it will add extra damage onto this knife attack if I don't kill him outright. There we go. It didn't matter. I killed him outright. And now... dog, we can just knife you. Ouch. And now move. See, I remembered. Attack and then move. Jackson can come up here, take a shot with his assault rifle. Ah. This guy's going to be able to heal himself, but he can't heal himself forever. 25 damage. Uh-oh. I don't know if he can revive his dudes. Like, I hope he can't revive his dudes. But we should be able to take him out here. 35 from the captain. Oh, yeah, I can just come up and knife him. Save the bullets. Oi! There we go. Reload. So, you know, again, 100% shot accuracy. That's what you're looking for in these kind of turn-based tactical games. You don't want to miss because it can cause a lot of problems. All right. When the guns finally fall silent and the smoke dissipates, Morton stumbles towards you. It's always good to know you can rely on your friends, although you took your sweet time about it. You won't believe what I got my hands on in Casablanca. Too bad the Nazis took everything. Ah, well, maybe another time. So there we go. Let's reveal all the items. We got a new shotgun, a splendid Morley Burke break action. Splendid assistance coat. This is light armor for, you know, when we start recruiting the other characters, there are some of them that can only have light armor, so that's good. Some officer's leather gloves. I mean, let's just take it as we take it. Grenade, and then a silken handkerchief. So we got some more cash, and there we go. So...
you stroll back to your Jeep. You get in and drive into the setting sun while Morton entertains you with his absurd anecdotes.
So there we go. That was our first mission. There's our look. Let's go back to the menu at Pathway. It's a pretty good game. It's a fun little game. So now that you've unlocked the first mission, you can go on other missions if you want to. So there we go. Wrath of God has been unlocked. You know, the rest of these are unlocked consecutively, so you got to go on each one at a time. But they get significantly longer. Like, so the first one, you saw that map. There was just the one map. The next mission is like 2 of those maps, and then this mission is like 3 of those maps, etc., etc. I don't know if it goes up to 5 of those maps, because that would be extremely long. But it also gets, not only does it get longer, it gets more difficult. And you'll need more characters and more skills and all that stuff to go through it all. So it's got some replay ability. It's got, you know, it's got some length to it. It's not one of these like super short games, and you can kind of play it how you want. You can make it longer or shorter depending on what you want. So it's a pretty good game. I think the one thing it's lacking is it's lacking the theme and the whole overall feeling of the game is a little bit lacking. I compare it to Curious Expedition, where Curious Expedition, it has that extra element of the Adventurers Club, and you sort of get into the world through the Adventurers Club, and you just feel like just pulled a little more into that world of explorers. And here, sort of the first time I played this game, it was just, okay, next mission, next mission, next mission, next mission, and you know, the flavor text wasn't quite as good, quite as entertaining as in Curious Expedition. The world itself not quite as gripping, but it is pretty good. It is pretty decent, and you know, the little turn-based tactics gives it a little extra dimension that Curious Expedition doesn't really have. Curious Expedition has the overall map that you go from place to place, and then you have the little choices and decisions you have to make in the little story vignettes, but it doesn't have that extra real turn-based combat. It has a little bit of where you roll some dice and stuff like that, but it's not the same as a tactics game. So they do have some differences and some similarities. I do think Curious Expedition is a slightly better game, but only slightly. So if you like Curious Expedition, I think you would like this as well. If you like turn-based tactics, I think you'd like this. But, you know, solid game. I would rate this a very solid game. So there you go. There's my Let's Look At for Pathways. Give it a shot. Give it a try. It's on Steam right now. I believe it might even be on Switch and other platforms. I don't really pay attention to those other platforms. But go find it. Go check it out for yourself. So until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.